From center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's the Blue Sox with a record of 7-1, first in the ICL, hosting the Malden Maddogs with a record of 5-5, fourth in the ICL. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story alongside Borja Jones, Barasaluthe. Borja, 6 straight for the Blue Sox, and they're looking to win 7 straight for the first time in 4 years. And they host the Mad Dogs, who have already eclipsed their win total from their first year in the ICL last year, and gave us a really tough fight the first meeting over at Maplewood.
Yep, I remember that game pretty spot on. Pitched in that game, actually.
Yep, yeah, and you did double duty. You did color for the first 4 innings, then you pitched.
That's correct, and yeah, you can clearly tell, even that game, Malden's, their starter coming out in the game, gave a better effort than I think I've seen any of their guys give or at least last year in their starts against us. He was effective, he was down in the zone, and then once we pulled or got him out of the game is essentially when the Blue Sox offense kind of took off. But at the same token, they look like a more competitive team this year. They look like they have a few more guys than they had last year showing up to games.
Yeah, true. It was like the last year the East Boston / Testacorp Bombers were in the league. They literally had only 9 guys for one of the games they had against us. And but it's good to see the Mad Dogs competing here in their second year in the ICL and standing in 4th, which would give them home field advantage if the playoffs were to start today. But of course they don't. The Blue Sox just passed the quarter pole in the season, and the first game of their current winning streak the other night in which they didn't play from behind.
Yeah, I mean, we alluded to it a bit that night. That was, as you touched on, the first time that the Blue Sox have gone up early, putting up 3 runs in that first inning, and then between Karras getting a good 2 innings out there, shutting
Lean
down.
Houts.
Yep, Lean Houts, and then the kid from Holy Cross.
Yep, McGowan, and then Billy getting the last 3 outs.
Billy getting into a little trouble at the end, but other than that, everybody was settled in. They were locking in on pitches. Blue Sox kept hitting throughout the game, and really that's what you want to see. As Coach Rick preaches to us all the time, you got to be consistent inning 1 through inning 7.
Yep.
There can be no let-up, nothing of the nature, and there wasn't. And hopefully that carries on right into tonight because it's another good team. We have a good Blue Sox outing. New guys starting out on the mound for us tonight.
And there's even some celebrities in the house. Steve Buckley from The Athletic is in attendance tonight, and good to chat with him. Of course, he hosts the Hall of Fame banquet every year, every 2 years now, but it's good to see him out and about today, and we'll talk more about that later. Maybe we'll even get him on for an inning. But in the meantime, here are the starting lineups first for the visiting Malden Mad Dogs in the blue jerseys with white letters and numbers with gold numbers on the front and white pants and blue caps. P.J. McDonald is going to lead it off at short, followed by Sean Doherty at third. Cal Cristofori is at first. Ethan Harris is in left. Jack Wharf is in center. Jared Beniers is in right. Brendan Roach is the DH. Steve Szymanski is behind the plate, and Henry Butterfield rounds out the lineup at second base. On the mound for the Mad Dogs will be Eddie Hardiman, who is making his second appearance of the season, 1-0 in 5 innings of work back on June 22nd against Melrose as the Blue Sox take the field. He allowed 2 hits, 1 unearned run, walked 3, and struck out 2. For the Blue Sox, in the navy blue Nike jerseys with the red letters and numbers and red shoulders and white pants and the red, white, and blue cap, it'll be Aaron Barboza leading it off in right field, followed by Anderson Jimenez at third. Ross Curley is at short. Jeff Costello is in center. Kyle Adey is the DH. Morgan Brown is at second. Josue Feliciano, the league's leading hitter, is at first. Sterling Tejeda is behind the plate, and Dominic Zaire rounds out the lineup in left. On the mound for the Blue Sox will be Junior Pena, and Pena is making his second appearance of the season. Had a 2-inning save on June 14th against Wakefield, in which he allowed no runs, walked 1, and struck out 3.
Yeah, I mean, Junior definitely looked good that first outing. He's coming off of recently being released from the Royal system.
Yep.
And clearly you can tell he has a minor league arm, has some power to it, and maybe it was just a matter of numbers for the Royals or whatever it might have been, but he's looking to have a great summer this year, and hopefully at some point for himself get picked up and get back into the farm system.
That's how Alcis Herrera got. This is how Alcis Herrera got signed by the Indians too.
Yeah, I completely agree, and he's looked good. Junior, talking to him a few times, he's a really settled down kid, not too emotional, doesn't really let the game get to him, and yeah, I mean, still a really young kid.
Yeah, but the thing is, you speak Spanish. He speaks Latin American Spanish.
That's true, and I'd say there's probably 95% of the
overlap.
Language. Yeah, we understand each other perfectly, and then there's a few words that between him and Julian and Raimundo and Sway
some of the pronouns are a little different in Spanish. Like you don't say vosotros in Latin American Spanish.
No, and we also use what would be considered the lisp, the zapato,
right?
Where the Hispanic guys would use zapato,
right?
And really pronunciate that Z,
right? Okay, well, here is PJ McDonald lead things off. A little bit of a late start. First pitch at 8:10, and it is laced into left field on his horse's Zaire, back to the fence, and he reaches up and makes the catch. Wow, what a ride for the first pitch of the ball game by PJ McDonald, but he is retired. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that was a little scary. Speaking of Alcis, I believe it was Alcis who pitched 1 pitch last year against Wakefield, gave up a solo shot to Bobby Lozano.
Yeah, I remember that, and then right after he had a big smile on his face.
And then Karras pitched 6 innings of relief.
Yes. I think that was more for Alcis to kind of get his appearance.
Yeah.
Just to make him playoff eligible.
Yep. 1-1 the count to Sean Doherty. We didn't even get the chance to tell you PJ McDonald's stats coming into tonight. PJ batting .333, no extra base hits, no RBIs, but has scored 6 runs.
Wow.
Strike 2, that makes the count 1-2. Doherty, the third baseman, entering play at .294, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 10 hits, and 34 at-bats, 3 runs scored.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like between PJ and this hitter right now, it looks like they're being aggressive early in the count, not letting themselves fall behind, and just trying to ambush Junior in a way that you don't really see teams always get off to that start right in the ICL. First inning, usually guys coming out of work and everything, you want to settle in a little bit, see some pitches, but these guys are swinging right off the bat.
Yep. The Blue Sox and the Mad Dogs 1-2 in the ICL in hitting. Blue Sox entering play to stout .331. Mad Dogs a considerable distance behind at number 2, but it's still at .302 as a team, as that's fouled off.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere hitting 330s for the Blue Sox. I was not aware of that number coming in, but that's impressive.
Yep.
That's hitting to all parts of the field. That's being disciplined in your swings. That's not chasing pitches out of the zone.
And there's a 2-seamer that comes back over the inside part of the plate for strike 3, and Doherty is retired, 2 down. One thing that is a key difference between the Blue Sox offense and the Mad Dogs offense is that the Mad Dogs have 22 stolen bases as a team and 28 attempts. Nobody else in the league has double digits as a team.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's showcasing that speed. They might not be a bunch of power guys, but
which is kind of ironic considering that they play in the smallest park in the ICL.
That is true. And the last time we were there, the
lead-off home run in the bottom of the first.
Yep, Esplin gave up that home run and then settled in right after that. But
yep. Cal Cristofori fouls this one off, and he's behind 0-2.
But yeah, those dimensions of that field,
I say it every time we broadcast there, but it's worth noting it's shorter to dead center than it is down the lines.
It's got to be one of the only fields I've ever played on that has those dimensions.
I know, right? It's like 335 to dead center and 345 down the lines, I believe. So if you're a pull hitter, that's not the best ballpark for you.
No.
But then again, when the Chiefs play there, they've got plenty of power even without Maplewood's dimensions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their balls would leave this ballpark.
Yeah.
The way that they hit them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen it and been victims of it.
Yep. Cristofori fouls off another one. Good battle by Cal, batting an even .300 with 1 RBI. The top 2 hitters in the league play for these respective teams, although one of them you won't see tonight. Derek Bauer not in the lineup for the Mad Dogs, as this takes a wicked hop on Ross. Off-balance throw, still gets him in plenty of time for the out. That retires the side. So after half an inning, it is the Mad Dogs nothing and the Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Don't crush your phone there, Borja.
Yeah, made sure to avoid the phone sitting down.
Yep. Here's your water back, by the way.
Thank you
well,
very
as
much.
we talk about players that have come through the Blue Sox with minor league experience, here's one leading things off, Aaron Barboza, former Seattle Mariners farmhand.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, after leading this team last year, right out of the #1 spot, he's just carrying on what he did, really putting speed and his aggressive approach early to kind of get on base, steal if need be, even though we haven't done that much as a team this year.
Well, the stealing has picked up considerably over the past couple of games with Jeff Costello returning to the lineup.
True.
And Barboza entering play at .273 as he's ahead 2-0. No extra base hits, but 2 RBIs and 1-for-1 in steals.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Barbosa's just trying to see some pitches, leading off. Not the same approach that the Mad Dogs took, swinging
That
right
would have
off
been
the
a
bat.
balk if there would have been a runner on base as Hardiman dropped the ball, but with nobody on base, nothing to worry about. And he gets strike one in there to get back in the count at 2-1. Always good to have a speedster like this, like Barboza, standing in the left-handed batter's box to get a couple extra steps towards second, but he is way out in front of a changeup there, and it's 2-2.
Now, I was under the impression that if you balked with no one on, it counted as a ball against
Yeah,
you.
I thought that too, but the umpire didn't signal anything, so
Maybe it's a little early for him. Yeah.
yeah,
He hasn't fully awoken
I think
to the game
it's
yet.
only the bottom of the first, no score, nothing of consequence here. So a full count here to Barboza, 3-2. It's like you have the speed coming from the left-handed batter's box. Ichiro's a natural righty, but he taught himself to bat left-handed specifically for that reason. And what did that get him? The most hits in professional baseball history and a likely trip to Cooperstown in a few years.
Yeah. Now, I would kind of like it if they would count the hits he had in Japan.
Yeah, but he still got look. As Barboza is thrown out 4-3 to begin the bottom of the first, but you gotta understand, like, he started his major league career at 27, and in such a short amount of time, he got to 3,000 hits.
Yeah, and I mean, what was that? 8 years of professional baseball in Japan. He
yeah.
had before coming over here.
Yep, and he did not lose a beat. A lot of Japanese players, especially pitchers, don't really pan out when they get to Major League Baseball. With all the money that's invested in them and the posting fees and the contracts and everything. But Ichiro, with unquestionably the best Japanese player to ever set foot in the States, and he's going to Cooperstown in a few years. Here's Anderson Jimenez, who is now behind 1-2, as it looks like Hardiman's got his good stuff going. Anderson batting .417 in this his 5th game, 1 double, 3 RBIs, and 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts.
Yeah, I mean, with what we were talking about with those Japanese players, I mean,
this is grounded to the left side in the hole, backhanded by the shortstop McDonald, but he won't have a play as Jimenez is too quick, and that'll be an infield single.
yeah, and you see a few guys who are flashing the pants, like a Hideo Numbo, like
Hideki Matsui.
Yeah, Daisuke Matsuzaka
Yep.
came here and had a great first year and never.
And a great second year.
Oh, that yes.
First year was above average. Second year, I think he was third in the Cy Young voting.
And then after that,
he just fell off. Yeah. Here's Roscoe. And Ross takes one at the knees for strike one.
And it's a different game coming over here to the United States. Pitchers don't throw as many pitches. Hitters are more aggressive.
Yep.
It's just a different style of baseball that you play.
And everybody throws a splitter in Japan.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why that is. Like why do like every Japanese pitcher who came through the major leagues, they throw a splitter.
Yeah, and maybe it's just something that they preach to them in the academies growing up, is that if you want to make it to that next level, if you have the velocity, this is the pitch that we want you to have. This is your out pitch.
Yeah, that being said, like you talk about the Japanese players, not having as much success in Major League Baseball as they do in NPB, but like when it comes to international competitions, they and Cuba are almost unbeatable.
Yes. I mean, Cuba.
This is laced into right field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Jimenez got a late break off first, so he will hold at second. But it's first and second, one out for Jeff Costello. But you were saying?
Those Cuban guys, I mean, I feel bad now because a lot of the top players from Cuba aren't able to go back and play for their home country.
Yeah.
At this point, you have Jose Abreu's in the league, and you have Yasiel Puigs, and you have a few other Cubans that have defected here.
Yeah, just
made a big name for themselves, and now
it's like I mean we won't. Well, let's not get into Cuban American relations tonight. But as this is grounded to short, could be two to second for one. Relay throw to first, and it pulled the first baseman Cristofori off the bag. So Ross is retired 6-4. Jimenez moves up to third, and it's runners at the corners, 2 down. And just like the Mad Dogs were in the top half of the first, the Blue Sox, after a patient at bat by Barboza resulting into ground out, they're starting to hack early.
That they are, and I mean, that's Barboza gives some of the other guys coming up, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, he gives them a little bit of a scouting report. And now they know what to look for in the first pitch. If they're going to get that fastball, which a lot of guys in the Intercity League do, the first time through the lineup, you start a lot of guys off fastball just to see swing patterns and path and how are they going to take this pitch, and are they stepping right at me? Are they stepping inside, outside? What are they looking like? And so after you get that scouting report from the first 2 hitters, it just kind of pass it along, and if you get that early fastball, go.
Kyle 80 batting .348, but behind 0-2, and he takes on the outside corner, strike 3, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And after 1 complete, still no score. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Pitch looked like it might have been a little outside there, but
you've got the home plate umpire standing right in front of you, mate.
Well,
all right.
We got to let him know and see if we can.
Hey, if you enter the game tonight, he's going to remember that. All right. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So Junior Payne, after a 1-2-3 inning, Blue Sox couldn't get him any run support in the bottom of the first despite back-to-back singles with 1 out. And it'll be the middle third of the order due up: Ethan Harris, Jack Wharf, and Jared Ben-Years. And Harris was really a force for the Mad Dogs in a year where they really lacked for offense and just struggled in their first year in the ICL. But interestingly enough, now Harris is struggling, but Malden's second in the league in hitting. And Harris last year, 23 steals in 27 attempts.
Yep. I remember pretty clear. Kid is quite fast, and last year I think he led off for them most of the games.
Yep.
That at least we saw them, and he was able to set a good tempo, at least you'd think, for his guys. But sometimes the message doesn't always get onto the page for the next guy.
Harris is batting .194 and has walked 3 times and struck out 7 times. Has 3 RBIs, but the steal numbers are still good, 6 out of 7. So still plenty of speed in the now cleanup hitter for the Mad Dogs, Harris. And that 2-seamer runs a little too far inside for ball 1.
Harris is sporting quite the bright neon belt today to go along with his bat tape. Maybe it's for the look, because I don't think neon is part of their colors.
No,
but
well, yellow is certainly. But,
yellow is an off shade of yellow, I guess you could call it.
Gold, whatever. Harris ahead 2-0. Junior winds and delivers, and that catches the outside corner with a fastball, 2-1.
I wonder how Junior hitter, or he's only had one appearance, but I wonder how he considers this hitting in the league compared to what he was seeing at the lower levels of the minor leagues. Because some of those guys are really raw hitters.
Grounded to third, and a nice spear on the hop by Jimenez, throw on to first, and nothing doing for Harris and his wheels. There's one down.
But you do see some refined hitters in this league, like a
Johnny Welch, I guess.
Yeah, Johnny Welch would be up there. The DH for the Brandies.
Dave Lightbody.
Dave Lightbody, who's been around for 20-odd years playing in the local Boston leagues. And so you see some good hitters who know how to take pitches and know how to bait guys into certain things. So
Jack Wharf behind 0-1. Wharf playing his fifth game. He's batting .364 with 2 RBIs. Mad Dogs had their 3-game winning streak snapped their last time out in a 11-8 slugfest against Andre at Maplewood.
Well, at least they're hitting.
I'm surprised more games aren't like 11-8
at Maplewood.
At Maplewood. Like, yes, Andre is always going to be a tough assignment when you're a hitter with all the great pitching they've had through the years. But too bad for Jared Frenny. He's going to be out for a while with a knee injury. But you know, we talked about Evan Walsh's 20 strikeout game. But just the small confines, especially to dead center, as we say, you know, you leave something over the heart of the plate, it's going to go a long way.
And you don't even need to put a great swing on it. The ball's gonna sail out right there. But that's unfortunate news to hear about Frenny. That's a guy who, since coming into this league in 13, I've seen him be lights out for the first few years.
Since you came into the league in 13, he's been with the Chiefs since like 2010.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you see a guy who lights up the radar gun there, one of the hardest throwers in the league, and really can command every one of his pitches. And
speaking of commanding his pitches, Junior picks up his second strikeout, and there are 2 down.
But it's always unfortunate to hear when a guy goes down for any type
especially
of injury.
Someone who's, you know,
that impactful for his
that
team.
impactful, yeah, exactly. But they still got Tim Dunphy, they still got Evan Walsh, and they still got plenty of pop in that offense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason they're 7-2, just a half game behind the Blue Sox.
Don't feel that bad for them.
Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Jared Beniers.
Junior really firing the ball in tonight. It looks like a lot of guys are.
A lot of the when you have guys that come to the ICL that had professional experience, they tend to be the hardest throwers because their velocity got them to that level.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
This is laced into center field. Costello, a few steps in, makes the catch at his belt, and the side is retired. After 1.5, still no score. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So the Major League Baseball All-Star starters were announced, and to just give you an idea of like how crazy the season is. Did you see the AL starting infield?
I have not. I assume
Santana, LeMahieu,
Bregman.
Escobar, and Bregman. Just a lot of names that certainly played their way to the All-Star game, but like you don't have the names you're accustomed to, in the starting lineup this year, like Abreu and Altuve, and Bogarts fell short despite leading AL shortstops in pretty much every offensive category.
That's one thing that I don't understand. It's a new voting system this year, but it's Devers and Bogarts have got to be.
They're going to be reserves, I'm sure, but like it just as Morgan Brown fouls that one off, it's still 0-2.
I mean,
I think Escobar is a testament to just how insane the Twins have been this year.
And the Twins have been great, but I mean.
Oh, excuse me, not Escobar, Jorge Polanco.
Yes,
Polanco.
yeah.
Yes.
But Bogarts is having his best season to date.
Yep.
And with the power numbers, the doubles, everything, the RBIs, and Devers too, hitting probably just shy of 320. One of the best third basemen in the game. Nothing take away against Bregman, but at the same time, I feel like Bregman probably more got in off of his reputation and his name than just the stats he's putting up this year.
Well, it's the All-Star Game is a popularity contest. What do you want? All right, here is the Interstate League's leading hitter, Josue Feliciano, at 550, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs.
Got the nice pink armband on.
Yep, always making a fashion statement at the plate. Down and away, ball 1, and still looking to bunt, even with 1 out and nobody on the second.
Yeah, just trying to get on anyway. Third baseman's pretty far back now, playing behind the base. So
Brown, by the way, entering play was batting .217 with no extra base hits and 1 RBI, and that he just went down and strikes for the 8th time compared to just 1 walk.
Yeah, more. I mean, off of those numbers, it seems like Morgan's starting off a little slow compared to what he did last year, but. As we talked about, it's a veteran hitter, knows how to hit. When the game comes down to it, he'll be there. He'll be ready.
3-1 to Sway, still looking to bunt, and he'll draw ball 4.
Well, at least he keeps his average where it was. Now, Sam, in the summertime, beyond the Blue Sox, do you get much like outside AAU baseball tournaments, or do you do any
I get Blue Gray USA. I get the Eastern Mass Amateur Baseball All-Star Classic. I get the Park League.
Okay.
High school sports is the big one for me.
Well, yeah, I mean during the year, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think my services most appeal to I think the clients that I have Lawrence Academy and private schools, especially boarding private schools that where a lot of the parents can't always make it to the games. And then technical schools like Greater Lowell Tech who don't get coverage from their local access stations very much because they're not the big time school in their town, and they're also a bunch of different towns. So like, who's going to take which local access station is going to take them? So, although I know that Drake at local access does do Greater Old Tech occasionally when I'm not there.
And do you go kind of wherever the business is?
If they got a zip code, I'll be there. That's my motto.
That's impressive. That is, Massachusetts is a pretty wide state, so that
yep.
I can imagine that's quite a lot of travel time on your end.
Which is why I'm glad I'm getting a new car soon.
Okay.
Yeah. 2-2 to Derlin. Winters play in just his third game, 1 for 3. Sails high and away, ball 3. And if Derlin can make his way aboard, I think maybe the best guy you could have for a number 9 hitter in Dominic Zaire is on deck.
I mean, especially after what Dom did last year.
Sway takes off, swing and a miss, strike 3, but Sway will pick up the stolen base, his first of the season. There's 1 down, now a runner in scoring position.
With what Dom did last year.
2 down, rather, and a runner in scoring position.
Just overall hitting, coming out of his independent league, winning a championship there. He's an impressive hitter to watch. And showcases his speed, everything. He's a normal lockdown center fielder. While Costello's here, he'll move over in one of the corners, but very, very talented player, versatile player.
Upstairs for ball 1 to Dom. Dom entering play at 286, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. And he laces this one into left center field. Back goes Worf to the wall, and it is caught at the wall for the final out. Dom hit it to basically the same direction he hit it for his walk-off home run in Game 1 of the championship series last year, but Morelli's a little smaller park than center field, and this one was kept in the yard, and a nice catch by Worf on the run with the hardest hit ball of the game, but it results in a long out. One runner left with no hits. After 2 complete, we still got no score. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Yeah, Dom put an absolute sting into that baseball. Center fielder got a great jump, was able to track it down on his over-the-shoulder catch, but good to see that swing coming out of Dom early in the game.
Yep. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. So the Blue Sox have gone 1 turn through the order, but it's good to see them go 1 turn through the order through the first 2 innings relatively quickly. Get some good looks, get some good contact on the ball, and that'll certainly build confidence for the second time through the order starting next half inning.
Absolutely, but looking over your score chart right here, striking out 3 times in that first 2 innings.
Yep, that's going to be a little tough. Watch out for the cables at your feet there.
Oh,
yep.
Sorry about that, Sam.
Yep. Well, yeah, and you're wearing metal spikes too. That'll definitely cut into the rubber.
That'll sever the
cord.
cord.
We are not playing at Victory.
No, we are not, and I think we only have 1 game there.
We have 1 game against the Alabrandis there this year, as they use that as their alternate home field, as they get that luxury with the Reds no longer in the league, and it's sad to see because the Reds youth program is still active, as this is cut off by Jimenez, pulled him sway off the bag, but he got the tag down anyway on Brendan Roach. Great play on both ends, and there's 1 down. But yeah, it's like the Reds amateur youth program still alive, and Joe Chiodo still very much involved. But it's sad to see because you love competition, and you love the dogfight that was the 3-way dance basically every year between the Chiefs, Reds, and Blue Sox. So.
Yeah, and I mean, going over to Victory Field, I played at Newton North back in the day from 2006, 2010, and we had a few early season scrimmages and then regular season games against Watertown between Newton North and Victory Field. So
Eddie Basile, one of my broadcasting colleagues, who also does the old-time baseball game, which Steve Buckley, who's in attendance, organizes, coaches as part of the Watertown baseball coaching staff.
Oh, okay. I have not seen Mr. Buckley around yet.
He's in the bleachers right now.
Okay.
I was talking to him. Sway was talking to him. Bruce was talking to him. Rick was talking to him. Good to see Buck supporting local amateur baseball as he always does. But this is the first time I've seen him at an ICL game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he did not.
Slider just missed 2-2.
He did not make the England trip. So.
Yep. Well, I mean, Buck isn't the Athletics Red Sox writer per se. He's just like a Boston columnist. Like, he was talking to me about how when he got the job at the Athletic, they actually wanted him to relocate, and he said, "I specifically want to stay in Boston."
But before that, I mean, he was he a writer for the Herald?
The Herald, yeah.
So, I mean, he wrote for the Herald for years, covered the Red Sox. And
wrote about Boston sports,
yeah.
all the Boston sports, like he still does for the Athletic.
And
Steve Szymanski, by the way, had a full count as we talk about Buckley's accolades, and he reaches via ball 4. And I feel like Payne is a little upset with himself because he thought he got strike 3 on that slider.
Yeah, I mean, that slider definitely looked like it was right there. It's even his catcher turned around and had a word with the umpire, but to no avail.
So Maddogs get their first base runner with a 1-out walk, and here's Henry Butterfield, the second baseman.
As we touched on last time, no relation to Brian.
All right. Strike 1.
Interesting baseball last name, though.
Yeah. Butterfield entering play at 211, no extra base hits, 1 RBI.
Sounds like a great victim for a double play here. If Junior can execute a pitch.
I'll miss outside, 1-1. And he's Henry Butterfield III, to be specific.
Wow, okay. Quite the name.
Yeah. Szymanski 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts this year. Ooh, this is a tough strike zone for the for Pena to deal with, and there's Derlin turning around to the home plate umpire again, just trying to figure out where exactly the strike zone is.
Yeah, I mean, if
you definitely don't want to see Hardiman getting those calls and Pena not. So.
No, by no stretch. Especially at home here, you'd figure that if we're gonna at least give some calls one way, you might as well be consistent with it.
Yep.
You don't want anything like home cooking, but
yeah.
At the same time, Pena's now been pretty upset after missing with 2, where at least 1 was definitely a strike. The second one might have been a little high, but.
Fastball into center field. Back goes Costello. He'll camp under it. He may be losing it, and it turns a turn on him and goes all the way to the wall. This is going to be a double. Now the throw is offline as Curley tries to cut it off. Wow. Costello usually an ace in center field. That took he overran it to his left a little bit, and that cost the Blue Sox 2 bases.
Yeah, I mean, just that early light before it becomes completely dark in the sky. That's a hard ball. Having shagged out there a few times in 4 games, you can lose that pretty easily. It seems like that just happened to Jeff there.
So Butterfield reaches with the double, and now P.J. McDonald with 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 out. And I think Pena's got to play for the strikeout here, right?
Yep, absolutely. Play for the strikeout.
Catches the inside corner for strike 1.
You have Sway and Anderson in at the corners. Hopefully, if not a strikeout, you get a weak ground ball to one of them, look the runners back, and just get the easy play. But I'm surprised a little bit here that the
whole
middle
infield, the middle infielders are back.
In.
Yeah, that's a strike. 0-2.
This is the 9-hitter or the 1-hitter?
This we've turned over the lineup. McDonald flew out to left his first time up.
So yeah, especially with the 1-hitter up with some speed, I'd bring the whole infield in. Not trying to conserve a double play or anything. Good block there by Derlin getting in front of that slider.
Try to knock him out with the pitch starting down and away. Classic 2-strike pitch.
Still way ahead here. You could still miss with that exact same pitch. You come in with a fastball.
If you're a hitter here, do you figure he tries to go for that again?
I would figure that.
Well, he went with a curveball, and it was strike 3.
Good. I mean, good solid pitch. He hasn't shown that pitch yet, which.
So now you got to figure that if you get to a 2-strike count, that's got to be in the back of your head, because like it's been mostly fastball slider, 4-seam, 2-seam slider for Junior, and now you drop the curveball there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's impressive that you could go through 2 innings of baseball and not showcase your whole repertoire. And that means that you're being effective with your 2 dominant pitches, but to still have a 3rd or 4th pitch that you can showcase later in innings that guys might have not seen that first time through, it completely throws you for a loop. And now that 3rd and 4th time up, now you're thinking, oh, wow, am I getting the curveball now? And then all that thought process might slow you down on that fastball.
There's a curveball again, and it's 1-1.
But, I mean, you can tell right out of his arm slot, he's a little bit faster with that slider. Definitely the finish is more pronounced, whereas that curveball, it's more of that 12-6 or 9-3. And
a strike, although Derlin dropped it, but
same pitch
no advance
again
by the runners. Amazing what one pitch can do for your confidence in being able to throw that pitch more often.
I agree. I was right there. And now way up 1-2 here.
Doherty struck out looking his first time up.
You got to assume he's going to at least try and put the ball in play here. Not going to stare down another strikeout.
He grounds this one back to Junior, and he'll underhand to first for the out that retires the side. So nothing comes of the double, 2 left. And after 2.5, still no score. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
That was an impressive stab there by Junior. Kind of just put his hand over his head and lucked into that catch, but now it's an out.
The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So the Blue Sox will have the top third of the order due up here in the bottom of the third. So this is the second time through the order for Hardiman. And Blue Sox have gotten 2 hits and a walk off of Hardiman the first time through. So you know what they say. It's a statistical fact that your averages go up the second and third time through the order.
I mean, yeah, you've seen it, but we also don't know if Hardiman now, like Junior, can showcase another third pitch, one that he hasn't shown the Blue Sox hitters yet to kind of throw off some timing, things like that, and that's kind of where you're at a disadvantage for facing a guy for the first time in a season. You don't know how.
To be fair, we didn't see the curveball until the third inning for Junior, so we very well may see
a brand new pitch. Yep.
Something else here in the third inning to throw off the hitter's timing. And Junior did that the first. No, he did that starting the second time through the order.
Yep.
So I was gonna say he didn't do that to the number 9 here because the number 9 hitter got that double that spun around Costello.
I mean, I'm always under the impression that if the other team can't hit your fastball, if you start a game with fastballs and you're going in and out and sinking it and cutting it a little bit, until they prove that they can actually hit it, why would you do anything different? Keep it the way you are, and then if you need to, you showcase a new pitch when you do.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left for the Mad Dogs. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Blue Sox. How's it going, Buck? Yeah, sure. 0-1 the count to Aaron Barboza, who grounded out to second his first time up. Now he lays down a bunt. It's a good one down the third base line, and he is going to beat this one out for a hit. Now it sails out of play, and he'll get a single and an E5 out of this.
Speed kills, Sam.
Yep.
Speed kills.
I mean, if this is Doherty's first time playing against Barboza, you got to know you just got to eat that ball.
Oh, yeah, 100%. By the time he picked it up, Barboza was 2 steps away from first base. It wasn't even worth making the throw. And now you put your pitcher in a little bit of a jam here because now you start him off second time through the lineup.
And that's going to bring Nick Finocchi out to the mound.
Seems like an early visit here off of something that he made a good pitch. Guy should have just been on first base. Working now. Maybe you're telling him that they can't put him on with a walk here. Anderson's hitting well, but I would think that it's
and then you got
not a smart play to put a guy on first base.
No, especially with Ross coming up and it's a lefty-righty matchup. It would be one thing if Ross was a lefty.
Yeah, it'd be different. But right now,
okay, well you put a guy on first, and that doesn't take the steal out of the equation. These guys could run a double steal. These are 2 of your faster guys.
I mean, Barboza might just take third on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He could do that right now and completely put himself in better scoring position, but at the same time, it really depends. I mean, maybe he was just talking to his guys, settling them down a little bit, explaining to him that clearly it's not your fault. You made a good pitch. Now we still got to combat it.
Finocchi. So Anderson Jimenez with a chance to give the Blue Sox the lead, but he swings and misses for strike 1. 2 of the 3 runners the Blue Sox have stranded thus far have been in scoring position, so let's see if the third time's a charm for the Blue Sox to bring home the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, and that first pitch right on the outer half, Anderson's got to be looking to go the other way here. Got to be looking to poke a ball right to at least deep to the second baseman, get Barboza over to third. Better case scenario.
Something to the right side.
Exactly, that's what you're looking for. You don't want to pull the ball here.
Good sized gap to right center, though. Low for ball 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised the right fielder's not shading a little bit over towards center.
But then again, if you know the hitter's going to try to go the other way with a runner at second and nobody out, you gotta be ready to charge that ball.
True.
That's down and in, 2-2. So Anderson works it from 0-2 to 2-2. First baseman Cristofori is in. Fouled off.
Yep, still pitching to that outer half. Probably looking right here, I'd go 2-2 count. I'd probably throw some type of curveball.
Down and in?
Slider, something like that, yeah. Try and get a swing and miss. But if you can't, at least make sure we're out of the zone. Nope.
Well, this is grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Barboza being waved around third. He will score easily, and the Blue Sox are on the board first. It's 1-0 as Jimenez picks up the RBI single.
That was an impressive piece of hitting there by Anderson, going straight back up the middle.
And it was hit. It was really to the left side, and there was a chance for the shortstop McDonald to get to it.
Would have been a tough play there. I feel like that might have been a dive to at least knock that ball down. But with
at least prevent Barboza from coming around.
But you don't know, with Barboza with a full head of steam there, he might have just kept going. If the shortstop does knock that ball down, Barboza might have just kept going on Rick's call.
Ross hits this one to left field, and it's through for a base hit. So the first three men have reached here in the bottom of the third. And now Jeff Costello, who gave up his number 7 when he played in the Futures League last year to Morgan Brown, and then he comes back after some time with the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox, and now he's wearing the minor league call-up numbers.
He's sporting, I think he sported a different number every one of the games that he's played.
He had 43. Now he's wearing 52.
He's worn 2.
Yep. But you can't have that one. That's Putty's number.
And now,
and he chops this one back to the pitcher. Throw to second for one. On to first in time for the double play. Great job doubling up the speedy Costello on the 1-6-3. Advancing to third is Jimenez, but they're now 2 down.
Looks like Malden just sent someone out to the bullpen to start, at least tossing. Not sure how Malden's going to approach this game, if they're going to have Hardiman go deep into the game, or if they're going to just try and get him through 3 or 4, prevent a few runs from coming in, and then just go make it a bullpen game the rest of the way.
Strike one to Kyle 80, struck out looking his first time up.
Yeah, that won't happen twice to Kyle in a game. Unless the pitch is egregious, Kyle will not strike out looking twice. He's an aggressive hitter.
High for ball 1 to even the count. But if you get 3 straight hits with to lead off the inning, you don't want to come away with just 1 run.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't leave runners in scoring position like that.
If they can't bring home Jimenez, it will be the 3rd runner they've left in scoring position through the first 3 innings.
Looks like there's still a considerable right center gap right now.
And that is to right field for a base hit, and here comes Jimenez, and 80 cashes in with 2 out.
The gentleman in the bullpen just continues throwing down the right field line here.
Yeah,
not enough lighting in the bullpen.
No, we lost the lights over the bullpens before this season.
Don't want to kill your catcher. Might not always call the best game, but still, no reason to kill your catcher.
Here is Morgan Brown, who fouls this one off for strike 1. So the Blue Sox with 4 hits in the inning, all singles.
That's fine. I mean, small ball, getting guys around. It does hurt not having Richie and Julian here, who are your primary,
your big boppers.
Exactly. So you got to win another way. You got to be able to hit timely hitting, put balls into play, hit it up the middle, look for your gaps, things like that. Bunt when needed.
2-1 to Morgan. Struck out swinging his first time up. So Kyle 80 picks up RBI number 6, and Anderson and Jimenez picks up RBI number 4 this inning. Everybody's still chasing Julian for the team lead. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, 2-2. Julian's got 9 on the year.
What's the most RBIs a Blue Sox players ever had in a season, Sam?
Do we have?
If you know that off the top of your head.
I'm sure Bruce would, at least since 2006. A swing and a miss by Morgan Brown, and he's down on strikes for the 2nd time, but the Blue Sox do strike first for 2 runs on 4 hits and leave 1. After 3 complete, it is the Blue Sox 2 and the Mad Dogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Vanaki, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vanaki. All right. LSP's next broadcast is Monday night, 7:55 p.m. Same matchup. The Blue Sox will be hosting the Malden Maddogs. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live and stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Blue Sox. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for the Mad Dogs. So the Blue Sox not capitalizing on all their opportunities thus far, but, you know, they take the lead here. And actually, Bruce just telling us this is the latest that the Blue Sox have gotten their first run in any game this season. They've scored in at least the first or second inning in every game this season prior to this.
I mean, that's impressive in itself. That in 7-inning games, like I said, that means that your 1 through 9 in the lineup, their first time around, are just going right after it. They're swinging, they're being aggressive, not letting pitches go, but still good to see a 2-spot go up rather than just 1 in 1 inning.
Yep.
Anytime you put up a crooked number.
After that double play, you get the frustration going. But kudos to Kyle for coming through in the lefty-lefty matchup, pulling the ball into right field to bring home Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can put up a crooked number as a team, it makes it so much easier. Yep. Relieves pressure from Pena in this situation. Now he just needs a good shutdown inning, get us back in, and let the Blue Sox keep hitting.
He will have to do it against the heart of the order, though. 3, 4, and 5. Cristofori leads off and fouls this one off for strike 1. Cristofori, Harris, and Worf do up. Cal grounded out to short, his first time up to end the top of the first. Now Derlin going out to have a quick word with Junior. Maybe they had their signals crossed on that pitch.
Do you think we're ever going to get to the point where we have number of mound visits in the Blue Sox or in the Intercity League?
Well, the Blue Sox were ahead of Major League Baseball in terms of the automatic intentional walk.
That's true. That is true.
Check swing inside, ball 1.
And now maybe the Intercity League can also take a note out of the MLB and start playing a few games in Europe every summer. That would be a nice.
You'd love that. I mean, some of the Blue Sox players did a baseball camp in the Netherlands, including Pete several years ago.
Wow, that must have been an awesome experience.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's a few guys who probably have been to Europe in the past.
I've never been outside North America,
so it would be perfect for you.
Yeah. I will say though, technically, I've been to an overseas department of France.
Okay.
But it was in North America, the island of Saint-Pierre. It's south of Newfoundland, and it's technically part of France. Scoop by Ross, another off-balance throw, another phenomenal play by Ross for the first out of the ball game. And actually, the first one he did was also on Cristofori.
That was the scoop over his head. That second bounce that went high, and he just popped it up and threw him right out. Strong throw to first base.
That'll bring up Ethan Harris, who grounded out to third his first time up, leading off the top of the second. Harris leading the ICL in stolen bases, entering play with 6. Behind him are Hartwell and Lozano with 5.
I mean, I think there's, having played in Spain and a little bit of Czech Republic and Italy, there are plenty of baseball fields over there that the amateur leagues use that it would be, I'm not sure you'd get the same attention you would as going to, what is it, Wembley Stadium?
I don't know if it's Wembley.
The Olympic Stadium in
England.
England.
Olympic Stadium where Spurs play, I think. Is it Spurs or West Ham?
No, it's West Ham plays there.
West Ham plays there, okay.
But yeah, I mean, all throughout Europe, Netherlands has great baseball. Italy has great baseball. Germany has a pretty good league. There's leagues all over that, and the fields are there. Like I said, having played there, the fan attendance, unless you knew the players, was not the greatest thing, but they were still interested in the game.
Yeah. Actually, you know who a couple years ago at least was the manager of the French national baseball team?
It was Eric Gagne.
Eric Gagne.
I played.
Although I will say that, as this is pop foul, having having a brother-in-law who went to university in Montreal, went to McGill.
Okay.
He can tell you, and with having married my sister, and them going to Europe and all over the world every now and then, they can tell you that basically mainland France considers Quebec basically the same way Northerners look at rednecks in the South. It's just like you tell someone in France about the existence of poutine, they scoff at you. Like how could someone from France, how could French people come up with something like poutine?
Yeah.
Although the Washington Nationals, for the 50th anniversary of the franchise, are bringing back the Expos Baby Blues.
Really?
Yeah, and Nationals Park is going to sell Montreal smoked meat and poutine at the concession stands. Although I have a sinking feeling that the poutine is just going to have like shredded Monterey Jack cheese on it. You gotta have.
Well, it's makeshift poutine.
Yeah,
they're not the original creators of it.
No,
so
not
they got to put their own little touch.
No, I mean, like you talk to Canadians, like you can't even have like Vermont cheese curds or Wisconsin cheese curds. You got to have Quebec cheese curds because those are the ones that squeak. And the other thing is, you shouldn't go heavy on the gravy. You shouldn't go too heavy on the gravy, and you need the fries well done.
I love to say I was a poutine aficionado, but
I got hooked a few years ago when I went to my first ever invitation-only Magic the Gathering tournament in Montreal, and across the street from the venue was this place called Blackstrap Barbecue, and it's a great place. It's an environmentally friendly barbecue place. Like they recycle their oil, all their dining ware is compostable.
wow.
It's great. They have poutine with burnt ends of brisket and beef juice.
Oof.
Beef au jus. So it's amazing, and don't try to solo it.
Yeah.
This is flared down the left field line. That'll drop foul.
I think just looking at poutine and international foods in general, I think there's a great.
You don't think of Canada or especially Quebec as a place that would come up with poutine. It seems like something you'd see at a southern state fair.
Agreed. And some of the food monstrosities I've seen over my time being down south as well.
Oh my God. Well, called strike 3 on Jack Wharf, and he's down on strikes. A called third strike for the second time, and the inning is over. 3.5 in the books. We're halfway home. Still 2-0 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Bottom of the fourth, Blue Sox will have the bottom third of the order due up. Feliciano, Tejeda, and Zaire. Sway walked and stole second his first time up.
Sway looking to get a pitch that he can hit here. Something relatively close to the zone.
Sway's walk, by the way, was the first walk he's drawn all year.
Really? Wow.
He's put everything in play this year. He's only had one strikeout.
What's he hitting on the season?
550.
Wow.
He comes up empty at that one for strike one. He's the league's leading hitter.
Showcasing power.
Yeah, 3 doubles.
3 doubles, hitting the ball to left, pulling it and getting some loft on the ball too. He's unbecoming of the hitter that he has showcased in past years with the Blue Sox.
Yeah, he's. I mean, but then again, when you lay down a squeeze for a walk-off for a championship, you wouldn't give up the bunt either.
No, by no stretch of the imagination. And he's a veteran guy, knows how to play the game. And clearly, talk about some young guys might be overwhelmed in certain scenarios, but I don't think I've ever seen Sway. He showcases a lot of emotion on the field, but at no point is he ever overwhelmed.
He grounds this one to short, slow roller for McDonald, fires onto first in time, one down. Sway 0 for 1, that brings up Derlin, who struck out swinging his first time up on a 3-2 slider outside.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure, with Sway with decent wheels at first and one out, that's a position where you can send the runner, and Derlin tried to give him. What's up, Ross? That's a position where Derlin tried to put it in play and give Sway a chance to go from first to third, but he came up empty, and you're not exactly expecting a pitch that far outside. As that goes through the wickets of Cristofori onto first, and now it's thrown away. But good job by the catcher Szymanski to back that ball up and prevent Derlin from taking second.
Yeah, I mean, that was good defense. You see some catchers that get lazy, but he made sure full sprint out, back up that ball, don't let it get out of play, don't let Derlin get to second base.
As an E4 or E3? E3, that allows Derlin to reach. He's 0 for 2, but does up the on-base percentage a little bit. And here's Dominic Zaire, who had a tough luck flyout to end the second. Hit it about as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And that we saw Julian do the same thing in the game against Melrose, second game of the season. And Zaire was even further, as this is into the left side hole for a base hit.
Yeah, for Dom not being as big as you'd see Julian or some of our other players, he showcases a lot of power.
Yeah, and he actually hit that ball further than Julian did, because Julian was just straight away
pull.
left. This was all the way out to almost dead center field.
Yeah.
So no disrespect, Julian.
Could see maybe, depending where the third baseman plays here, Barbosa could drop a bunt down that third base line, load the bases up right now for Anderson. Definitely got the speed. It all depends where your third baseman's playing.
Well, that's what he did his last time up, singled, and then the ball was thrown away. He got to second, eventually came home on Anderson's single. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm sure that's exactly what's in the back of the head of Szymanski and Hardiman.
Looks like he's either even with the bag or a little bit behind at third base.
Looks to be even from here.
If he doesn't take a step in, I'd strongly consider that out of Barbosa right here. Drop that bunt down.
Well, he's not coming in, and Barbosa laces this one into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Derlin. The throw to the plate, the relay is in time.
That was a great relay right there. You needed to be pinpoint with that, and the throw was right there. Shortstop made a strong throw into the catcher. That was perfect relay, honestly.
Derlin kind of stumbled, did a
definitely
little
sliding
hop.
in there.
Came to a dead stop as he slid head first into home plate, and that may have cost him the run.
Surprised he didn't slide in with his feet there.
Well, now it'll be up to Anderson. Blue Sox do not want to let this opportunity go by the wayside again.
At least if Anderson comes up in that same situation in singles here, I feel like with Dom on second base,
Dom should be able to get home. What's he saying?
I couldn't really hear what Derlin said, something in Spanish, but couldn't fully hear. Hope he's not asking for oxygen.
Well, he had his hand in front of his mouth like that, so maybe that's what he was asking for. So 3-0 to Anderson.
No green light here. Just if he can't throw a pitch, let Ross come up, and
he
there it is.
Lets him go on 4 pitches. Bases loaded, 2 out, and this is what Ross lives for.
Yeah, this is as a pitcher. This looks like they might be going to the
Nick
bullpen.
Finocchi's coming out. Yep, and with the lefty-righty matchup right now, they may be going to the righty, and it looks like someone is standing outside the Mad Dogs dugout, and I think this is going to be it for Hardiman, and that will do it. So they go to the righty for Ross. Pitching change coming to you from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. Blue Sox 2, Mad Dogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Oh, Derlin got a bloody nose. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was that stumble right there.
Yeah,
looked like he planted flat on his face.
Hey. All right, so where were we in the promos? That's right. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So let's see who has taken over on the mound. Is that 35?
16, I think.
16. That's a very different number from 35. And 16, looks like it'll be Elias Fagan-Smith if the jersey number is correct. And Bruce is going to make sure. So we'll refrain from giving you the line on Elias until it's Elias Fagan-Smith? Okay. So Elias Fagan-Smith making his 3rd appearance of the season. 3 2/3 innings, a 5.72 ERA, 2 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. 3 runs in an inning and 2/3 against Andre on June 10th, and then on June 22nd against Melrose, pitched 2 innings with 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So you definitely want to bring in the right-hander against Ross to up your percentages here if you're the Mad Dogs. And Ross doesn't need to crank one out. Just get a base hit. Convert these opportunities somehow. Leave as few runners on base as possible.
I mean, this is a tough situation as a bullpen guy, though. You come in against one of the better Blue Sox hitters.
Of all time, really.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. If you're not crisp right off the start of the at-bat and you go down 2-0, 3-1, something like that, this is going to be a field day for Ross.
Ross did have a walk-off grand slam against Watertown, right, last year? Yep. So let's see what he's got in that bat right here. Bases loaded, 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. Game possibly at a tipping point here. Ross takes low, ball 1. Ball squirts away from Szymanski, but he keeps it in front of him, and no advance by the runners, but it is ball 1.
That was a great block right there. If that ball gets back, everyone advances. Blue Sox put up another run, so that was... He sacrifices the body, and that's what you need to do as a catcher. We, as pitchers, we expect you to do that.
Yep.
So
you know how they say the NFL really stands for not for long. That's basically how pitchers are. Oh, did he just call that a strike?
He did.
Oh, wow.
That might have been the same location that
Ross 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs with the bases loaded this year.
That pitch might have been the exact same spot that Junior missed on some of his sliders. So to see that called the other way, that's a
1-2 now to Ross. And Fagan-Smith, 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded. And the Blue Sox just want to get, hell, you'll even take just 1 walk out of this situation just to have something to pad your lead for Junior.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what you're looking to do. Just keep putting up runs and put some pressure on the Mad
And a
Dogs.
swing and a miss, strike 3, and a big out there by Elias Fagan-Smith. He strands the bases loaded. That's what they went to the righty for, and the Blue Sox leave the bases loaded. They have left 7 through the first 4 innings, and it is still 2-0 Blue Sox after 4. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. I think the one pitcher who can't get frustrated, one player who looks like we've got a substitution. Logan Gillis at second. Always. All right, so I think the one person who can't get frustrated out of all of this more than anyone is actually Junior.
Yeah, I mean, Junior still got the lead. He's still pitching well. He looks strong. And just all he needs to do is be effective with his pitches. Be low in the zone, pitch to contact here. I know he likes to strike guys out, but let your defense work a little bit. Don't get deep in the counts.
Defense has been playing well, though.
Yeah, can't give any free bases up here. That's the one thing you can't let happen later in the game.
Strike one to Jared Beniers, who flew out to center his first time up, ending the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left for the Mad Dogs. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 7 left for the Blue Sox.
A lot of guys left on base.
Pena pitching his heart out here. He is ahead 0-2 of Beniers, and there's going to be a pinch hitter on deck. It looks like Logan Gillis for Brendan Roach. Logan Gillis, the former Watertown Red and assistant coach at Lawrence Academy. Hello, Spartans fans. Hope you're tuning in. Of course, Spartans, one of my other clients. Fouled off, nearly took a chunk out of Logan's legs there.
Sam, are you excited for Sunday morning to be able to wake up at 10 a.m. and watch some professional baseball?
I'm never excited to wake up at 10 a.m.
Well,
okay, there are some exceptions. Curveball misses high, ball one. Like, I have. Sometimes I can wake up early and get my day started and just like be productive. Other times I succumb to the drug that is memory foam.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but
swing and a miss. Another breaking ball by Pena, and the throw pulled Sway off the bag, and he had to race back to the bag to make sure he got the out on Beniers.
That was kind of a lob throw over there by Derlin, I think. In that play with a guy who's hustling down the line, you got to fire that ball in.
Yeah.
You can't have any.
I think knowing that you just got the Blue Sox to leave the bases loaded, you're in hustle mode to try and get back in this game if you're the Mad Dogs. Here is Logan Gillis, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean you'd think that, but maybe Derlin is. I don't know. Maybe he's a little hurt from that, or maybe he's still thinking about that slide in where he clearly got.
It's only Derlin's third game, though.
Some type of bloody nose there. I wonder if he concussed himself at all.
You hope not.
Clearly, yeah. I mean,
1-1.
Absolutely hope anything against that.
If he were concussed, I think he'd be showing a little more obviously right now behind the plate than he could be, as this is grounded to short. Curley fires onto first, 2 down, and again it's Pena pitching his heart out.
It's nice to see. I mean, sometimes you take it for granted, but how smooth Ross is at shortstop. With
Ross, so I remember like when Gaff was the starting shortstop, and Ross was at third base. Ross was a good third baseman, but there were some plays he didn't make. But then again, he's a natural shortstop, and like shortstop there, like I hate to quote the commentary from MLB The Show, but like there is a rhythm and timing to playing shortstop. Third base, everything happens much more quickly.
Yeah, I mean the ball's stung right at you sometimes right off the bat, but shortstop, even to his backhand, he makes a lot of plays that.
This is dying fast. In comes Costello. He slides to his knees and makes a fantastic catch to retire the side. So he certainly makes up for the misplay on the double.
Yes.
By Butterfield there with a great sliding catch for another 1-2-3 inning. And right now it's just 2 over the minimum through the first 5 innings for Junior. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Blue Sox looking to pad that lead a little bit. Still 2-0 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Looks like the Blue Sox here might have a new hitter coming up to the lineup, Mr. Alex Wojtek.
Yep, I asked him if he wanted to do color before the game. I'm sure his mom always watches, of course.
Well, good to have a loyal fan there, and
Yep.
What better than to be able to hear your son on the call. Maybe he doesn't call enough during the week, so you get him on the live broadcast. Give a shout out to Miss Wojtek, and then you are.
Yep, Alex.
Yeah.
All right, so
What's that?
all right. Okay, so Borja just heard the song of his people, so looks like it's going to be CJ for the 6th, and Borja, you're going to pitch the 7th, so you got to get loose. Thank you for joining me again, Borja, and I don't know if, well, let's see, if if Alex is taking over for Sway, maybe Sway can replace you, I don't know.
Well, we will see. Thank you very much, Sam, for
Thank
having me,
you,
as always.
Borja,
I appreciate it.
All right.
I will let you carry on.
Thank you.
Bring us good luck. Thank you, Sam.
Yep. All right, here we go to the bottom of the 5th. Oh, by the way, you can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. So it looks like C.J. McKinnon's going to take over for the top of the 6th. And Jeff Costello will lead things off. The Blue Sox have left 7 on base. They've had 8 hits and only 2 runs. And Costello, thinking about bunting his way on, takes outside ball 1. So a great outing by Junior Pena. Goes 5 innings, allows just 1 hit, 1 walk, and strikes out 5 rather, as that's down and away 2-0. And it will be up to C.J. McKinnon and Borja to close the door on this one. Meanwhile, Fagan Smith, who got a big strikeout of Ross Curley with the bases loaded and 2 out in his first third of an inning to end the bottom of the 4th, behind Costello, 2-1. Costello with the open stance, and the pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch up and away fastball, and it's 2-2. Oh, come on, Mrs. Wojtek. Mrs. Wojtek saying on Twitter, "Oh, I thought you only liked to work Blue Sox games for my benefit." I mean, not saying they're not for your benefit, Mrs. Wojtek. By the way, Alex is on deck. 2-2 to Costello. Here it is. Fouls it off. Infield back, outfield straight away. Kind of a hesitation on the delivery there, and that might have thrown off Costello there as he swings and misses at a slider way outside, and there are 2 down. One down, rather. So here is Alex Wojtek. Coming into play at 600, 6 for 10 with 3 RBIs. Takes up and away, ball 1. Blue Sox have had a base runner in every inning, but their only runs came in the 3rd. And Wojtek skies this one on the infield, and it will be caught by the shortstop McDonald for out number 2. So Morgan Brown to the plate to try and prolong the inning. Again, Blue Sox only 2 runs despite 8 hits. They've left 7 on base. Malden has committed 2 errors, and that's in there for strike 1. Oh, the Blue Sox dugout not happy with that call. In the top of the 6th, the Mad Dogs will have Szymanski, Butterfield, and McDonald due up, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. And Brown skies this one into right field. Camping under it is Beniers, and he makes the catch for the out that retires the side. So for the first time tonight, the Blue Sox go 1-2-3 after 5 complete. Still 2-0 Blue Sox. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie and the Never Concede Collection. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store after the game to place your order. C.J. McKinnon takes over for the top of the 6th for 5 shutout innings by Junior Pena. C.J. pitching in his 2nd game had a 3-inning save against Somerville on June 22nd, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and recording 1 strikeout. He'll be tasked with getting the hold here, although holds are not an official stat in the ICL. And his task will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Szymanski, Butterfield, and it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Szymanski, it looks like. We may. We'll check this. As McKinnon delivers strike 1 swinging. Oh, excuse me, this is Henry Butterfield. My mistake. It's the 9-1-2 hitters. So Butterfield behind 0-1. And that is foul tipped for strike 2. New catcher for the Blue Sox. It's Nico Frelick behind the plate. Bruce, can I look at the Malden line for a second? Thanks. Thank you. 0-2 the count to Butterfield, to be followed by McDonald and Doherty. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left for the Mad Dogs. And a swing and a miss, and the ball ricochets off the backstop and goes the opposite direction, and that'll allow Butterfield to reach. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the person of P.J. McDonald, who will try to race his 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there by C.J. for strike 1. McDonald flew out to left to begin the ball game and then struck out swinging. Small lead at first by Butterfield. The pitch inside for ball 1. Butterfield on base for the second time. Had that double that took kind of hooked away from Costello in the third. A swing and a miss. So McKinnott's got his swing and miss breaking ball going. Can he keep it in Frelick's range? Butterfield 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts this year. A foul tip into the mitt for strike 3. McDonald down on strikes for the second time. 7th strikeout by Blue Sox pitching tonight. Here's Sean Doherty, the third baseman. Struck out looking in the first, grounded out on a comebacker to Pena in the third to end that inning. And the second and third one-out threat that the Mad Dogs had, their only threat of the ball game offensively. And a swing and a miss. Looked like something off speed there by McKinnott for strike 1. Throw back to first, and they nearly had him. It's been Hardiman and Fagan Smith for Malden and Pena and McKinnott for Lexington. 0-1 the count to the number 2 hitter, Doherty. That runs inside, evens the count at 1. It was Hardiman for the first 3 2/3 for the Mad Dogs. He left with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 4th with Ross Curley due up. Vanaki went to the right-hander Fagan Smith. And Fagan Smith got Roscoe on 4 pitches for the Blue Sox, stranding the bases loaded. Right now, 1-2 the count to Doherty. And now McKinnott will step off the rubber. On deck is the number 3 hitter, Cal Cristofori. In the dirt, gets away from Frelick, but he keeps it in front of him, and it's 2-2. We'll get you the lines on both Hardiman and Pena in a little bit. First, the 2-2. Slider down and away. Full count. Barfield could take off with this pitch. Sway holding him on at first. Infield at double play depth. Pitch hits him. So that puts a runner in scoring position for the first time since the 3rd inning for the Mad Dogs. First and second, and now we're going to have time called as the Mad Dogs coaching staff going to make sure that Doherty's okay. And now Cal Cristofori. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to short. McKinnon has a long look at second, now comes home with it, and it's up and away for ball 1. Tying run at first, go-ahead run at the plate for the Mad Dogs. Blue Sox have had their opportunities to make this a much more comfortable lead, but they have stranded 7 runners, including the bases loaded in the 4th. A swing and a miss, and a pitch in the dirt. It's 1-1. 2 strikeouts in the inning for McKinnon. And now something misses inside. Off speed pitch. 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Cleanup hitter Ethan Harris on deck. Lone hit in this ball game was a freak double by Butterfield in the 3rd. In the dirt, gets away from Frelick, and now both runners are going to get into scoring position. So a base hit can tie this game for the Mad Dogs. Right now, walk would at least put the double play back in order, but it's fouled off. You got to pitch for the strikeout here. You don't want to load the bases for the number 4 hitter, cleanup hitter Harris. And it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. That's going to bring Matt Karras out to the mound. Puts the go-ahead run at first. It's the second walk issued by Blue Sox pitching. This inning started with a strikeout, but it got away from Frelick, and Butterfield moved up to first. Then McDonald struck out. Then Doherty was hit by a 3-2 pitch. And Cristofori just walked on a 3-2 pitch. So bases loaded, 1 out for Ethan Harris. Harris 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a fly out to right. Corner infielders come in. Middle infielders at double play depth. The pitch foul tipped into the mitt of Frelick for strike 1. The line on Hardiman, 3 2/3 innings, as this is looped into right field, and this will be caught by the right fielder, Barboza. Here comes the throw to the plate, but they will get the runner at first for the double play. Now, does the run score? Does the run score? We're going to have to get the word from the umpire. The way we're going to get a confirmation from the umpire, just make sure. Well, we'll find out. It's a 9-3 double play as they doubled off Cristofori at first. So after 5.5, it's either 2-0 or 2-1 Blue Sox. We'll figure it out in a second. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is Monday night, 7:55 p.m. Same matchup as tonight, the Blue Sox and the Malden Maddogs here at Lexington High. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand, or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy DVD of the game at the LSP store. Josue Feliciano will lead things off here for the Blue Sox as they try to pad their lead. It looks like the run did not count. We haven't heard anything otherwise, so it's 2-0 Blue Sox. A big double play there as Sway fouls this one off for strike one. Sway 0 for 1 with a walk at a stolen base. Sway takes in the dirt, ball one. There's no hit in that inning. Swing and a miss, slider away for strike two. Fagan Smith still out there. Logan Gillis is now in the field, so the Mad Dogs have lost the DH. Low for ball two. Borja Jones Barasaluthe warming up for the top of the seventh. Sway laces this one into left center field, and that will be caught on the run by the left fielder Harris for out number one. So that'll bring up Nico Frelick, getting his first at-bat of the ball game. Frelick 1 for 3 on the season with an RBI. In there for strike one to Frelick. So it's Gillis now at third. And we'll get the rest of the changes in a second. Strike two on the outside corner to Nico, 0-2, with Dominic Zare on deck. Nico takes over for Derlin, who was 0 for 2, who reached on an error and then was thrown out at home. And Nico overmatched there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And there are two down in the bottom of the sixth. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings now for Fagan Smith. Here's Dominic Zare. Blue Sox could use one of their patented 2-out, nobody-on rallies right now. And Zare takes low for ball one. In the top of the seventh, the Mad Dogs are going to have Jack Wharf, Jared Beniers, and Logan Gillis due up. Blue Sox just looking to pad their lead. Only 2 runs came in the third. Runs up and in, nearly hits Dom, 2-0. Blue Sox have left 7 men on base and have had 8 hits. Also, Mad Dogs have committed 2 errors, but Mad Dogs have pitch their way out of some tough jams. Dom pops this one up into foul territory to the left side, and this will be a catch. Well, the Blue Sox got one of those the other night against Reading, but the third baseman, Gillis, makes the play standing on the edge of the out-of-play line over towards the third base bleachers, and the side is retired. We go to the top of the seventh, closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 2, Mad Dogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Top of the seventh, Blue Sox looking to make it 7 wins in a row. Jack Wharf will lead things off. Wharf 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so he's glad to see Junior Pena go. Pena went 5 innings, allowed 1 walk, 1 hit, no runs, and struck out 5. Borja Jones Barasaluthe out there for the save. As this is grounded to first, Sway scoops it up. 1 down. Borja making his 4th appearance of the season, 2-0, 6 innings of work, 6 hits allowed, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's going for his first save of the season. As Wharf grounds out, and that'll bring up Jared Beniers. Beniers is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout. And Beniers takes on the outside corner, strike 1. I think that's the first one of those calls that the Blue Sox have gotten today. Borja had been talking about when the Blue Sox were pitching. Nice diving stop by Ross. Throw to first. Not in time. It's an infield single for Beniers. Just the second hit of the ball game for the Mad Dogs. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in Logan Gillis. Gillis entering play at .286 with 1 double, 1 homer, and 2 RBIs. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Gillis was a force for Watertown last year as that slider misses outside 1-1. Batting .368 with 6 doubles, 3 triples, and 23 RBIs. 23 RBIs were good for second in the ICLs. That skips away from Frelick. Another wild pitch by Blue Sox relievers, and it's 2-1. And up to second goes Beniers. So Gillis knows what it takes to come through in the clutch. Slider on the outside corner, 2-2. Looks like there's a pinch hitter on deck for the Mad Dogs. As this is ground to the left side, one hop. Ross fires to first, skips away from Sway. The run scores, and it's 2-1. And now the tying run in scoring position, as Ross could not beat Gillis. Pete Malton will be the pinch hitter for Steve Szymanski. With the tying run at second. High for ball one. Szymanski, Malton 364 with 1 RBI on the season. Low for ball two. This one, Frelick is able to corral. 2 hits in the inning for the Mad Dogs after they just got 1 through the first 6. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Runner takes off for third. The pitch is low. The throw down to third. It's a stolen base for Gillis, and now the tying run 90 feet away. Good stop at third by Rory Bordick to prevent the ball from going into left and potentially allowing the tying run to score. Infield comes in here. The pitch, it's a squeeze! And the Mad Dogs are going to tie the game! Now Henry Butterfield takes inside ball one. It's a blown save for Borja, and the Blue Sox will rue those missed opportunities with runners on base in the first 4 innings. It's down and away, 2-0. High for ball 3. Strike is in there, 3-1. So the Blue Sox left a bat in the bottom of the 7th, and they will have the top third of the order due up: Barboza, Bordick, and Curley. This is lined up the middle. Backhand stop by Brown, on to first in time. And now the Blue Sox need 1 to win. It is the Blue Sox 2 and the Mad Dogs 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, the Blue Sox are going to put together a run. They got the right part of the order due up to try and win this. Aaron Barboza will lead things off. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Junior Pena can no longer win it, despite 5 innings of one-hit shutout ball. Elias Fagan-Smith is still out there. This is going to be his 3rd full inning of work. He struck out 3 and 2 in a third after coming on with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 4th and striking out Ross Curley. And that's high for ball 1 to Barboza. Eddie Hardiman is off the hook after 3 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs. Barboza takes low, ball 2. Barboza takes on the inside corner, strike 1. Blue Sox have been retired 7 in a row by Fagan-Smith. Haven't had a hit since there were 2 out in the 4th. Haven't had a base runner since Jimenez's walk that forced Hardiman out of the game. Barboza fouls this one off, and in the bottom of the 7th, we have an official broadcast. To the left. Those are straight back. I think those count. 2-2 the count to Barboza. Fagan-Smith delivers. In the dirt, ball 3. After the first 5 wins of this winning streak were come from behind wins, now Malden looking to turn the tables and come from behind and at least get a tie out of this and get a point. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is 4 strikeouts in 2 2/3 by Fagan Smith. Now Rory Bordick getting his first at-bat of the ball game after coming in defensively for Anderson Jimenez. Bordick enters play 1 for 7 with a walk. Wants to bunt his way on, pulls back, and it's strike 1. Bordick also has a run scored to his name. That skips to the plate, ball 1. Bordick's also been hit by 2 pitches, so his on-base percentage is actually .400, despite the .143 batting average. His lone hit coming in a 1 for 3 performance against Somerville on June 22nd. Down it in, 2-1. Action warming in the Blue Sox bullpen. Swing and a miss by Bordick. 2-2. Jimenez finishes his day 2 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. They cannot touch Fagan Smith. He's got 5 strikeouts in now 3 innings. Now Ross Curley. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. He's like to get on base and give Jeff Costello a chance. Ross takes up and away, ball 1. In the top of the 8th, it'll be the top third of the order due up for the Mad Dogs. McDonald and pitcher Spot and Cristofori. Two and 0. We approach the 2-hour mark of this ball game. 3-0. Ross taken all the way there, and it's down the pipe for strike 1. Ross entering play at .316. He's got that average up a little bit more with his 2 for 3. Ross pops this one up. And it will be caught by the center fielder, Wharf. We got bonus baseball. After 7 complete, Blue Sox and Mad Dogs tied at 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So the new pitcher for the Blue Sox, the fourth of the night, is Jake Vesling. Had a 2-inning save in the season opener against the Alabrandies. Hasn't pitched since. Allowed 1 hit and 1 walk while striking out 1. We go to extra innings for the second time this year. Blue Sox won their first extra inning ball game with 5 runs in the top of the 8th to defeat the Wakefield Merchants on Sunday. Here they are where they were ahead 2-0 with 2 outs to go. Run scored on an error, and another run scored on a squeeze. The Blue Sox were stymied by Elias Fagan-Smith, who came in with the bases loaded and 2 outs to face Ross Curley. Struck him out on 4 pitches. Didn't allow a single runner to reach base afterward. 3 1/3 innings of perfect relief for Elias Fagan-Smith. His spot is due up second in this inning. It's McDonald, the pitcher spot, and then Cristofori, who is now the catcher, by the way. This is fouled off, and it's 1-2. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left for the Mad Dogs. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 7 left for the Blue Sox. This is lined down the first base line, but that's a foul ball. Looks like the pinch hitter on deck is Jeff Lopes. The 1-2 from Vesling to McDonald. Strike 3 called on the inside corner with a curveball. That is the 3rd time tonight McDonald has gone down on strikes. And now here's Jeff Lopes, who's making his first appearance of the season. Last year for the Mad Dogs, batted .224 with 2 doubles, 1 homer, and 8 RBIs. And he takes a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Lopes walked 4 times and struck out 12 in 67 at-bats. Swing and a miss at a slider down and away in the dirt. 0-2. It was Junior Pena for 5 innings of 1 hit shutout ball to start the game. It got a little dicey for C.J. McKinnon, but he emerged from the 6th unscathed. Borja Jones-Barasaluthe 2 outs away from a save, and the Blue Sox 7th consecutive win allowed 2 runs to score, 1 on an error, 1 on a squeeze. And here we are with bonus baseball. Fouled off. Blue Sox, again, unable to get a runner on against Elias Fagan-Smith, but with Lopes pinch hitting, Blue Sox will be glad to see him go. The 1-2 once again. Check swing downstairs, ball 2. Cal Cristofori on deck, and if anybody gets on, Ethan Harris. Grounder right back to the pitcher, Vesling. He'll take a few steps towards first and underhand to Sway for the 2nd out of the inning. Here is Cristofori, who has assumed the catching duties after Pete Maltzen pinch hit for Szymanski. Maltzen, by the way, is still in the game at first. Cristofori walked his last time up, and he takes strike 1. In the bottom of the 8th, the Blue Sox are going to have the middle third of the order due up: Costello, Wojtik, and Brown. This is a little looper to second. Brown makes the catch, and the side is retired 1-2-3. After 7.5, still tied at 2 between the Blue Sox and Mad Dogs. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Which one? You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. New pitcher for the Mad Dogs, and again, the Blue Sox are glad to see Elias Fagan-Smith go, but it's Ricky Alexi making his 4th appearance of the season. No wins or losses, but 1 save. In 6 innings of work, he's allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 4, and struck out 8. His last appearance was on June 18th against the Alabrandies, going at an inning and 2/3, allowing 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Jeff Costello will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Costello 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice in the first, grounded into a 1-6-3 double play in the third, and struck out swinging, leading off the 5th. And he wants to butt his way on, and he pulls back, and it's ball 1. Alexi, one of the 2 Alexi brothers on the Mad Dogs, the other being Kevin. Nick Finocchi telling us if Kevin were pitching, they'd be in trouble. 1-0 to Costello. Swings and misses. Swinging for Burlington with that one, and coming up empty for strike 1. Costello, the 2017 ICL batting champ. Gets a bunt down, but it's right to the pitcher, and he muffs it! E1 puts the winning run on first. Jeff's 0 for 4, but he's been on base twice. Here is Alex Wojtek looking down at Rick DeAngelis, and could be a bunt here, even with the number 5 hitter and power hitter Wojtek. He does square, pulls back, throw is into center field, but Costello doesn't get a good enough read on it to get up and advance to third, but it does put the winning run in scoring position. It's ball 1, and now both Cristofori and Vanaki are going to go out to have a conference with Alexi. Costello picks up the stolen base. is 3rd and 4 attempts. Trying to come home with the winning run. Would you still bunt here? Okay, so the corner infielders are... Okay, this is interesting. The first baseman, second baseman, and third baseman are in, but the shortstop's behind second. Alex takes ball 2. They don't bring the entire infield in. They leave the shortstop back. Alex takes ball 2. So the first pitch was a strike. Okay, 2-1. Fastball count. Laces it down the left field line, but just out in front. 2-2. Right size, wrong shape. Wojtek pinch hit for 80 in the 5th and popped up to short. Wojtek grounds this one, picked by the third baseman, Gillis on to first for the out. A screamer down the third baseline, but a good pick by Gillis. And now Vinny Aramo will pinch hit for Morgan Brown. And they're going to put Aramo on intentionally. I'm sorry. That was Nate Wolf. My mistake. Nate Wolf put on intentionally. So it'll be Sway. Sway 0 for 2 with a walk and a steal. Double play in order here. Corner infielders in. And Sway fouls this one off for strike 1. Costello at second, Wolf at first. Costello dancing off of second. The pitch, down and away, ball 1. Don't think you're going to lay down a sacrifice here to get it to 2 outs. Throwed back to second. Blue Sox dugout wanted a balk. Runner goes for third. The pitch is a strike. Throw down to third. They got him, but behind the play, taking second is Wolf. First, runner at second, 2 out, 1-2 count to Sway. Winning run, still in scoring position. Sway bloops this one. Throws to first in time. We go to the 9th. Still tied at 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of most past LSP video broadcasts. Okay. Oh, we are ending the game? Oh, so, all right. Well, all right. So we are going to call this one at a tie because the lights are going to be going off shortly. So it's a game that goes 2 hours and 11 minutes, and the Blue Sox had their chances, but but the final totals for the Mad Dogs: 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. And for the Blue Sox, 2 runs, 3 errors for the Mad Dogs rather. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 left. The Blue Sox winning streak ends at 6, but they have an unbeaten streak of 7. They go to 7-1-1, 15 points, still first in the ICL. And the Mad Dogs stay at 500 at 5-5-1. A disappointing and frustrating game for the Blue Sox. And they will have their chance for revenge against the Mad Dogs shortly on Monday. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2019, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. LSP's next broadcast is Monday night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox host the Malden Maddogs. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy DVD of the game at the LSP store. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and Teespring, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. is Malden Maddogs 2 and the Lexington Blue Sox 2 in 8 innings. For Borja Jones Barrasaluthe, my name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.